My name is Commissioner Frank Avila, and this is Election 2014. And as my guest, I have Judge Buford as my guest on the show. Judge Buford is a sitting judge, and she's running to be retained as a judge. And Judge Buford was born and raised here in Chicago. She went to school here in Chicago, and she has 27 years experience as a lawyer. Thanks for being on our show, Judge Buford.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have a judge. And how long have you been a judge now?
I was appointed to the bench in May of 2014 by the Illinois Supreme Court.
Oh, Illinois Supreme Court. Now, I mentioned that you had 27 years experience as a lawyer. Would you please explain to the audience your 27 years experience?
Certainly. Before law school, I went to school here in Chicago. I went to Holy Cross Elementary School, Aquinas Dominican High School. I went to Northwestern University for my undergraduate degree, and IIT, Chicago Kent College of Law for law school.
Oh, you teach? You're a teacher?
No, not a teacher.
Oh,
IIT, Chicago Kent College of Law is the law school that I attended.
Right.
When I graduated, I worked for a mid-sized law firm, Jones Ware and Grenard, here in Chicago. After a couple of years at Jones Ware and Grenard, I became a partner at that firm. That firm dissolved some years later, and I started my own firm. I've always practiced civil litigation. I've represented insurance companies, the city, the state, some individuals, mainly corporations, during my career. I was appointed as a Special Assistant Attorney General. I was a Special Assistant Corporation Counsel. I was a Federal Foreclosure Commissioner. And for the last maybe 7 years or so, I sat as a commissioner on the Illinois Court of Claims. You cannot sue the state of Illinois in the Circuit Court of Cook County. You have to sue them in the Court of Claims. And I sat and I heard those cases in the Court of Claims and drafted opinions after hearings. I've also been a hearing officer for the State Board of Education and the State Department of Human Services.
Well, you had a really wide range of experience as a lawyer, especially the foreclosure. You have to have a lot of heart there. Yeah. Because a lot of people are hurting of this economy, and you know, one gets married, has kids, and they want to have a home.
Right.
And then they find out they can't afford it, and things happen economically with them, and they have to go into foreclosure. So being there, you have to have a lot of heart.
You do. You have to have a lot of heart where I sit. You just have to have a lot of heart as a judge. You have to be open to people. Yeah. You have to hear what people have to say. Most people will always have connection. Either you or someone in your family will come across or appear in front of a judge. You may not appear in front of other people, but somebody is going to appear in front of a judge. And you want your judge to be fair. You want the judge to hear what you have to say. You want the judge to make their ruling based upon the facts that were presented. And I want you to go away from my bench, win or lose, knowing that I heard everything that you had to say and that my decision was fair. You may not win, but you'll feel that I heard what you had to say and that the decision was fair.
You know, that's true. In your lifetime, we're all going to appear before a judge. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we may never meet a mayor, maybe never meet the President of the United States or the governor, but you will, in your lifetime, going to see a judge. And then when you go before a judge, you're scared.
Right.
You're afraid because this is your first time in court.
Right.
And so you have to have a judge. We have to retain judges that are fair to the people.
It's very important that, you know, the judicial races are at the bottom of the ballot.
Yes.
And it's very important that you go to the back of the ballot, to the bottom of the ballot, and you vote for the judges, that you do your research on who those candidates are that are running, because once they're there, they're there. And it's very important that you look at their backgrounds, you make sure that they're qualified, you make sure that those are the kind of people that you want to appear in front of. My 27 years of litigation experience, I was in front of all kinds of judges on a daily basis. Yeah. That made me know what kind of judge I didn't want it to be and what kind of judge I wanted to be. And, you know, it's a stressful thing for lawyers and for lay people who come in front of a court. It's stressful, and it doesn't help when the judge contributes to the to the stress in the courtroom. So I try to even the playing field for everyone who appears.
Now that's true. Now the election was in March.
correct.
You have early voting, and then March 18 is the final,
Right.
right? So, and you mentioned that the judges are where again?
The judges are at the bottom of the ballot. We're
Bottom
the
of the ballot.
last people, and the last group of people on the ballot are the judges. And a lot of people don't go to the back of the ballot. They don't vote for the judges, or they don't know the judges, or they'll vote based upon the name, or based upon the ethnicity, or based upon some other factor, but not the judges' qualifications. It's important that people investigate the judges and not just vote based upon the name.
Now, were you recommended by any bar associations?
I have been found highly qualified, and or recommended by every bar association.
Every bar association?
Every bar association. Additionally, I have one additional level of screening that 98% of the candidates don't have.
Yes.
I was screened by a special committee of the Illinois Supreme Court.
Oh, Illinois Supreme Court? No.
They appointed a special committee, and they screened me and looked at my qualifications. And as a result of all the screening and all the vetting, I was appointed in May of last year to the court.
No, I was reading that you were the past president.
I'm the past president of the Cook County Bar Association. I'm the immediate past president of the Cook County Bar Association Foundation. I have served as the economic development chair for the NAACP.
Yes.
I've got a lot of experience in the community. We ran a pro bono legal clinic. I do a lot of mentoring, law day for students. I sponsored a series of economic development workshops on behalf of the NAACP. So I've done a lot of community work.
So, and being raised in Chicago, you understand every neighborhood probably here in the city of Chicago and Cook County, because your race is countywide.
My race is countywide.
Yes.
So I am running countywide. I've been over this entire county. You know, because you're running with me. This county is huge.
Yes.
It goes 200 and something hundred south, all the way up to the North Shore, all the way west. The county is huge. We try to get around to every part of the county to introduce myself, to tell you about who I am, what my goals are, what my qualifications are, and what my philosophy is as a judge. I think that if I can reach you and you get a chance to meet me, I hope that you will support me in the election in March and early voting, which starts March 3rd.
March 3rd, yes.
March 3rd.
Now, you mentioned goal and philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Could you repeat your goal and philosophy?
My philosophy is to be a fair judge, is to be a civil judge, is to be someone that you are not afraid to appear in front of. When you see me on the bench, I want you to take a deep breath and say, okay, she's a good judge. She's going to hear what I have to say. She's not going to scream at me. She's not going to get mad if I don't know what I'm doing. She's going to take her time. She's going to understand the issues that are in front of her, and yet she's going to move her call. So that's the kind of judge I am. That's my philosophy.
That's excellent.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, because you have to be fair with people, because right now people are really hurting.
Right.
And then the economy, the way our situation with jobs.
Right.
And so we need judges like Judge Buford on the bench.
You know, there are a lot of people. I sit in the traffic division currently, and there are a lot of people that come in the traffic division, and they have many issues with their driver's licenses, and they need to straighten out these issues so they can get their licenses back, because you need to have your license, your driver's license, in order to get around, get to a job, or do what you have to do. So I try so very hard to help the young people and older people who come in front of me by explaining exactly what they need to do in order to clear up the issues surrounding their licenses, so that they can get them back, and so that they're not continually stopped on the street and hauled into court. You have to miss work when you come into court.
Yes.
All of that is in the back of my mind. I know that if you're in court, you're missing work. And I don't want you to have to keep running back and forth unnecessarily. So I keep all of that in mind when I'm sitting on the bench.
Now, how many cases do you hear a day?
Oh my goodness, we can hear anywhere from 100, 200 cases a day.
In a day?
In a day.
Oh my God.
Traffic is a very, very busy. It's a very busy division. Sometimes we cover 2 courtrooms a day.
Courtrooms? Oh.
Right.
Now, what time do you start and what time do you end?
Generally, the court calls go from about 9 until, it could be 4 or 5, depending.
Long day?
Yes.
I mean, you're busy every minute.
I'm busy all day.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And so actually, you've been endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party.
I've been endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party. I've been endorsed by the Indo-American Democratic
Yes.
Party. We're currently in the process of working on additional endorsements with the newspapers and other groups.
Yes.
They have not made decisions yet. Oh, and I'm also endorsed by the Chicago Federation of Labor.
Excellent endorsement, and they endorse you because you're very well qualified.
That's right.
And I think they endorse you because really you have a kind heart.
Mm-hmm.
You're really concerned about the people and the residents here in Cook County.
I'm very concerned, and I just wish more people would pay attention to who the judges are that they elect. Again, I encourage you to go to the bottom of that ballot and take a look at those judges. And before you go in, do some research on who those judges are. I invite you to look at my website and check out my qualifications. I've been sitting in this position. I do have a few opponents in the race, none as qualified as I am, if I must say so myself. Not to mention that I've got the 27 years of experience, and I've been sitting on the bench. I've gone through the judges' training that we have to go through, and I'm very comfortable and competent in serving on the bench.
And as I mentioned, my name is Commissioner Frank Avila, and I endorse, and I appreciate everyone out there come election day to come out and vote for Judge Buford, because I'm going to vote, and my family is going to vote for Judge Buford because she knows the law, but she's fair. That if anyone appears before her, she's going to understand what they're facing, and they don't have to be afraid. You know, that's the key, to be afraid to go to a judge.
Right.
Because they probably worried the night before. And
You're worried, you're scared, you're stressed, you can see it in their faces when they come into court. Judges and lay people alike, it's stressful. And the judge can just, I was in court today, and we had a very, very heavy call, and when it was all over, the clerk, she said, "Oh, Judge, I'm so glad you were here today. You have such a calming effect on the courtroom." She said it was all these people in here and all these issues, and you just were just so calm. It's so nice to have you in here. And I get those comments from the clerks in the courtroom, from the sheriffs that are in the courtroom, as well as from the attorneys who appear in the courtroom. They like that. I got a letter just the other day from a prosecutor who appeared in my courtroom, and she's no longer there. She sent a letter to me, and she said, "Judge, it was so nice having you, just nice working with you. You were a great mentor. You helped me on and off the bench," and that's the kind of judge that I want to be. I want to help you where I can.
Judge, you'd like to make any final statements?
Again, I ask that you please go to the bottom of the ballot, pay attention to the candidates who are running. The Cook County Democratic Committee has slated a number of us, including Commissioner Avila, who I also wholeheartedly support. My family and I will all be voting for you, Commissioner, as well. He's got a wonderful background and wonderful stories. I've heard them, and he's very funny, but also very, very competent, as is the entire ticket. I ask for your support. I want to be able to continue to serve in the position that I currently hold. I think that I am the type of judge that we need on the bench in Cook County, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
And I support and endorse Judge Buford.
Thank you. I support you.